committee will consider House Bill 1687 by Representative Bohac. Chair lays out House Bill 1687. The chair recognizes Representative Bohac to explain the measure.
Thank you, Chairman Huberty and members. House Bill 1687 would require each school district to develop and distribute a written agreement at the start of the school year stating the responsibilities of each student's parent or guardian, and each of the student's classroom teachers. This agreement would be required for students at each grade level, including pre-kindergarten. This agreement would have to be signed by the student's parent or guardian and the student's primary classroom teachers. It's one classroom teacher if they have multiple ones. A student could sign the agreement as well, but would not be required to do so. I believe that a student, a parent, and teachers each have an important role and unique responsibilities when it comes to the education of the student. Taking this simple step for all involved to pause and acknowledge their role is important. Parental engagement in particular has been proven to be a necessary agreement for the vast majority of classroom students. When parents or caregivers are involved in their children's academic lives, the children perform better and have greater respect for scholastic achievement. And I got those metrics from Raise Your Hand, Texas. I ask for your support on House Bill 1687, and hope we can vote this out right away. I'll be happy to answer any questions. I do have a sample that Kip uses. I won't pass it around because there's just two of y'all here, but it is pretty cool. And it does lay out in detail the parents' responsibilities and roles, and it's really good.
All right, thank you. Members, any questions? Thank you. Testifying against the bill, Ginger Russell, self.
Hi, I'm Ginger Russell on behalf of myself here, and I'm in opposition of this bill. I think it's ambiguous. It's open for debate. There's nothing that lays out exactly what a parent has to agree to. Parents and parents, teachers, and the school district need to be in partnership with one another. And many parents nowadays object to so much technology, and I know of parents who have taken their kids out. There's nothing to say what is actually in the agreement, and an agreement is where they both agree. And where I really have a problem with the bill is at the end of it, it states that each school district shall determine the methods for enforcing the agreements adopted by the district under subsection A, including any penalties incurred if a teacher or parent or guardian refuses to sign the agreement. And I just think it just leaves things open for debate. I just oppose the bill.
Thank you, Ginger. We appreciate you being here and hanging with us. Have a long day. Alice Linahan. I hope I got that right. Alice Linahan testifying. Oh, there you are. All right, Alice. Come on down. Testifying against the bill. She's a mom. She's here for herself. Right.
Thank you. Yes, I am opposed to this bill, and as a mother with children...
Alice, give me your name for the record, please.
Alice Linahan.
And your position?
Against the bill.
And you're here for yours?
For myself.
Great, go.
I oppose this bill right now. I've got a child who is in public school, and I've also got a child who I am now homeschooling because of what is coming into our public schools. And there are no opportunities right now to opt out of, for instance, the STAR exam, which has been proven last week in the State Board of Education to be an invalid assessment of actual math skills. So there's a lot of parents who are wanting to opt out their children. We know what's coming next to replace the STAR based on the next generation of assessments and accountability report that the legislature was given in September, that the number one recommendation is online adaptive assessments and instruction. And so I have a real concern that in signing a document like that, there is not the opportunity as a parent for me to opt my children out of adaptive assessments and instruction that are aligned to the Common Core. And what we know is that the Texas College and Career Ready math standards currently, as testified by Dr. Jim Milgram in November, are actually worse than the Common Core. So there's too many really bad things going on that to sign a document that doesn't give parents an out and possibly incurs penalties is a real danger at this time.
I'd just like to make one comment.
Of course.
With all due respect, I think that your worries are not what this bill is about, and your worries are not what a parent-student-teacher agreement is all about.
That's your intent, but by allowing the school district to come up with a document like that, it's open, and so a school district could use that to incur penalties against parents for not. Right now, I opted my kids out of my daughter out of using a Chromebook. What I found out is that the teacher actually was giving a quiz, or asked the students to go online and do a quiz. My daughter didn't have a Chromebook, and so the teacher told my daughter to take the quiz on her smartphone or on her iPhone. My daughter started screenshotting me the questions of the quiz. They were questions like, do you believe in an almighty and loving God? Do you believe homosexuality is unnatural? Do you believe children should be protected at all costs? And then this website creates a tension score, and where the student has a tension in their answers, it creates a report. So my daughter's report stated, you said that you believe in an almighty and loving God, but you also said children should be protected at all costs. And there's natural disasters all the time. And if there was a God, he would protect children. I tell that story because that creates a huge tension between my daughter, the teacher, the school district, and it's all centered around me opting my child out of a Chromebook. So when you put that kind of power in the hands of a school district and force parents to sign a document that could give penalties later, you're taking the power out of my hands to hold the district accountable when the district's in charge of creating that document, not parents.
All righty, thank you. I appreciate you being here. Hanging with us all day. And by the way, Common Core is illegal in the state of Texas.
It is that the college and career ready standards are aligned to the Common Core.
Well, we have a little disagreement on that, but that's okay. I know because I passed the bill that follows it, so there you have it.
Alice, if you would, introduce yourself for the record.
Thank you. My name is Alice Linahan, and I am a mother in Argyle ISD. I am also the Vice President of Women on the Wall, although today I do not represent Women on the Wall. I am representing myself. And I am not for or against this bill. I just wanted to speak on it. I think, and y'all discussed it this morning during the meeting this morning, that, and it mentions in the bill, and this is why I'm bringing it up, the SAT and the International Baccalaureate. The SAT is aligned to the Common Core, and Common Core in Texas is supposed to be illegal. The TSI is also, the copyright for the TSI is owned by the College Board. The College Board owns the copyright to the SAT. So as a parent, I would like for the Texas legislature to acknowledge the fact that as parents, we have no way out of aligning to the federal Common Core standards because there is no nationally normed reference test that is not aligned to the Common Core philosophy of education. So that was my comment.
All right. Thank you. Sarah Hall.
Did you say there are no national norm standards tests now that are not aligned with Common Core?
Not at this time, not that I am aware of. And that's the shift that you talked about this morning, away from the mental academic to the behavioral. And as a mother, that's my greatest concern. And when you have a commissioner of education that has recommended to the next generation of assessments and accountability that we have new Texas standards that are non-cognitive character traits, that gives the state the ability, if it's a standard, a Texas Essential Knowledge and Skill, then it has to be assessed. And if it is assessed, the state is collecting psychological data on individual Texas children. As a mother, that's very concerning.
So what you're saying that by default, without titling it, that Texas is actually now teaching to and adhering to Common Core standards.
Exactly.